Hi everyone. We start a new story today, a story about a woman who was used by God to make his plans happen. This is the most important thing to remember when we're looking at this story, and remember that God is also in control of our lives. Now, we do need a little bit of background before we start telling the story of Esther. Last time we had Bible class, we looked at Elijah and Elisha and the kings at that time. You might remember the kings at that time weren't always very godly, and they worshipped other idols. Because of this, further down the road, God brought King Nebuchadnezzar to come, and he actually captured Judah, and he sent them into exile. They were captives in Babylon for 70 years. And when we start our story, the story of Esther, this time has actually already gone by, and the king at that time, after the 70 years, let the people go back to their land. However, not everyone went back, and some of them stayed in the Persian Empire. So keep that in mind as we start the story of Esther. So Esther becomes queen. So King Xerxes is the king of Persia at this time, and he's the king of the whole Persian Empire, and he loves to show off his wealth. This is a map to show all of the land that he is in control over, and it was 127 provinces, all the way from India to Ethiopia. And on the map you can see there's a little spot that is Jerusalem, and we've seen that map close up, and we think that's pretty big, but his empire was really, really big. He was a very, very powerful king. So he's the most powerful man in the world right now at this time, and in the 3rd year of his reign, he invites all these nobles and these princes to a feast, and the feast lasts 180 days. Now, at the end of the celebration, he had a 7-day party to celebrate his wealth. So he invites everyone back to his palace, and it would have been a beautiful sight. The palace would have been decorated with expensive materials, with beautiful cloths of white and green and blue, and they wouldn't necessarily be sitting at tables and chairs, and you might see that in some of the pictures. They would have been maybe lounging on different cushions, but they would have had lots of beautiful gold things around them and a lot of good food and things to drink. So everyone drank from gold cups. At the time, Queen Vashti was the queen, and she was also having a party of her own with all of the women that were in her company. But they would eat and drink, and the king and his party ate and drank so much, and the king actually became drunk. So at the end of the 7 days, because of his drunkenness, he ordered his 7 servants to go fetch Queen Vashti so he could show off her beauty, and he wanted Queen Vashti to come to dance in her royal crown so that the king could show off his wife. But she didn't want to dance in front of everyone. And so she did something that no one would say to the king, and she said no. She refused to come. And she knew that her husband was misbehaving and that he wouldn't want, and she didn't want to dance for them because she knew that they drank too much. And so all he wanted to do was show her off, and she didn't want to be a part of it. She surprised everyone when she said no, and the next thing that happens is very, very big. So the king was furious. His wise men advise him, saying that the queen has not only insulted you, but everyone. She has set a bad example in not showing honor to her husband. And so the queen's title and estate was taken away from her. So she was no longer the queen. So a law was made and read aloud throughout the land that all wives must honor and obey their husbands. Now this this was not necessarily done in a godly way, which is why it wasn't really done in the right way. Now we have the introduction of some new characters. So the question arises in the story, who will replace Vashti as queen? And the king is lonely and he would like a queen, and so a search takes place throughout the land for the most beautiful young women, and they were brought to the palace under a supervisor named Haggai, the king's servant. The king had many beautiful young women brought to him, but they had their own hair, and they had their hair done, and they put on perfume, they put on makeup, and they dressed up in nice clothes, and were sent before the king. And they all tried to make themselves as beautiful as possible with all of these things, but the king did not like any of them. Now, meanwhile, we have someone named Mordecai working in the palace, and he was a Jew. He was an Israelite. So Mordecai had a cousin named Esther, who he had brought up because her parents had died. Esther was beautiful, and she was a beautiful and young girl, and she was chosen to join the other contestants at the palace. So there would have been a big party of young girls together, kind of like a contest to see which one would win the favor of the king. And so she went to the palace for these beauty treatments for 12 months. That's a whole year. And Mordecai advised her not to tell anyone that she was a Jew. He also walked up and down the courts of the palace every day to hear how Esther was doing and to make sure she was all right. He worked in the king's kingdom to keep an eye on Esther. After Esther had prepared herself for one whole year, as this was the rule to get ready, so 6 months, so half of the year they would have oils to make her skin smooth, and the other 6 months were perfumes and other preparations to make her look gorgeous for the king. And she was given whatever she wanted to take with her to the king's palace when she would have her final moment to go and see the king, to see if the king would say yes, she will be the queen, or no, she will not be the queen. And she just went by herself. She went without taking anything with her or along with her to make her look more beautiful or extra beautiful. She just went by herself. So she would go and see the king and back to her room, and then if the king wanted to see her again, he would call her by name. And when it was her turn, she didn't ask to bring anything with her. She just went on her own, and the king loved Esther most, and she was crowned as queen instead of Vashti. A feast was given in her honor, but she told no one that she was a Jew. A little while later, Mordecai was guarding the king's gate and overheard two servants, Bigthan and Teresh, and they were plotting against the king. Mordecai immediately warned Esther of the plot, and she told the king. The king did some investigating, and the two plotters were arrested and found guilty, and they were hung on a tree. Their plot was recorded in the chronicles, or the records that the king would keep. So a big book where the king could record all that has happened in his kingdom. And he noted that Mordecai had uncovered the plot. But Mordecai at this point in the story did not get a reward for what he did, because he just saved the king's life, and Esther helped with that as well. So that's the end of our story for right now. You'll have to wait and listen for part 2 that will be coming soon. Remember to be memorizing your memory work from Esther 4, verse 13. If you haven't been, and then next week we'll also add verse 14 as well, and you'll be able to recognize that from the stories that are coming up from Esther. All right, I wish you all the best, and have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.